Alright guys, so I bought these lights for the truck. I'm gonna put them in. Never want to do this video, but I said let me do it because sometimes got some people wanting to do these things by themselves and don't have an understanding of how to do it. So this come with this daylight running light. This daylight running light here. And then it's also have indication as well. You know those new vehicles where you have the indicator blink and then the light come back on. This is one of them. Nice light. So the plug is regular. This is the regular plug connections that goes onto the light. So you don't have to worry about that. Regular connection. However, these two are for the daylight running light and the indication light. Right? So on this end, I've already made the insertion for the indication light, which is this wire here. And how to find out which one is the indication light on this, you have to use a thing called a probe. So a probe is a tool that you can get. I got this one cheap off Temu. You can get them very expensive in some places, but these are cheap. You hook it up to the battery, give it power from the battery here, positive, negative, or negative, positive, sorry. And then if you can see here, you can see either way you get current. So as you can see, green is negative, red is positive. And how you check to know what is negative and what is positive, if you put this here, you see that on the body of the vehicle, you know it's negative. And if you put it on a live like that, you can see it's positive. So if you were supposed to check for an indicator wire, you will have to turn the indication on, and then because this is so pointed, you could poke the wire, and then you'll see the indication blinking here. Click, 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 click. And that's how you know which one of the wires are the indication wires, and then you could use it and put on the indication one here. So you could just touch it on this and see what color comes on the front here. If you don't know the wires, if the wire diagram doesn't tell you, because this wire diagram doesn't tell you even the color wires, give you the different color wires. But just touch it here, and then whatever blinks here will tell you, will indicate which one is the. So I think the green one is the indication, and when you touch the wire, it will then blink orange, and then if you put this wire on there, it's going to bring white. So you know which one is which, right? Over here, I'm going to show you. I want to give you a demonstration now of how you check which one is the indication. I'm going to switch the indicator on at the moment. I'm going to do a hazard in here that's on there. It's flashing like that because there's one side off. It's flashing real fast because I took that side off, so that's why it's flashing. So check this out. If you poke this here, see that? That's how you know it's that wire. It's the indication wire. And then you could strip it here, or you could find it somewhere else, if closest. But this is the closest part to hook it up to this light. So yeah, that is how you find out how you get the indicator to work on these headlights. Now, to find out how you get the daylight running light to work, because this is not a daylight running vehicle, you don't get no daylight signal wire coming to the front of this car. So you will have to find one inside your vehicle. Alright guys, so we're gonna find the switch live, and what I do is go into the fuse box. It's right there. This is the fuse box cover. In order to find out what these fuses are, you have to go to the manual. You have to search for the wiring diagram or the fuse box diagram, because these vehicles, it seems like they don't come with any. They don't give you any instructions on the cover like some vehicles do, like the Japanese vehicle do. So basically, we got our probe here. So all you would do is touch on each of these. As you can see, these is a negative here, a negative, positive I should say. So when you switch the ignition on, one should change from red to green or green to red to show that there's an indication. So check this out. So see if I can study this. Well, what happened is someone already tapped into one of these fuses before, because I actually took out the wire. Didn't even know I was gonna use it. So this one here, someone had already sawed on a wire on there. You can see if you come closer. Let's see if I can adjust this camera. So you can see, if you can see here, it's like a solder on here. So someone already soldered on a wire. So if you look, it's giving you that reading. So I'm gonna try and hold this and try switch the ignition on and show you what happened when you switch the ignition on here. Alright, so now I'm gonna, a little bit hard to do with one hand, but let me see if I can find a solution here. I don't have a tripod. Alright, that's that. Look at this now. See that? Off, on, off, on. So that's how you know you got a switch live here. So we're gonna come off this with our wire, run it through here. Someone already made an incision here with the wire, with a wire before, so I'm gonna run it back through here, go into the engine bay, and we're gonna wire up our light so we could get daylight running light as we switch the vehicle on. Alright, so let me get this solder up and come back. Alright, got the soldering done, and we are going to put it in up here where it came from. Took it out of here. Alright, I'm gonna run it right through that little hole right there. See that hole right there? Right through there. You can insert the hole right there in your car or anywhere where there is a rubber area that covers, you know, where water doesn't come in the car or whatever. You just, you know, insert a little hole. You can actually close it back up with some silicone or something. Gonna grab it from around there. Don't want to pull too much. You want to hang it high so you don't caught on anything when you're driving or stepping on your brake pedal. You don't want to caught it and get messed up. Alright. Try and close this back up. Find the easiest area. Yep, snap right up. Making sure it doesn't caught onto anything up here. Gonna get a tie strap and strap it up somewhere over here, so it doesn't get caught anywhere. Alright, sits there for now. It's alright for now. Alright, so while it's out here, and this is the easiest access point to the light over this side, I'm gonna just hook it up and show you how it works. Alright, so we got it hooked up. The green one is the indication, turn signal, whatever, and this one is supposed to be the daylight running light. Alright, so it's not on. I'm gonna turn the ignition on now. See what happens. Ignition on. And voila. Daylight running light in effect. So I'm going to put the indicator on now, and that's supposed to flash orange. Beautiful. Beautiful. See that? So I'm going to connect them up now, and we should be A-OK, my friends. So that's it. We're going to hook this light up over here. I'm going to run the wires up to this harness, come down here to get a little neat fitting going on. And then I'm going to probably run it across the top here, over there, and get it hooked up properly. Beautiful. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video.